has not been registered for the reason of non-receipt of order of the foreigners tribunal or refusal by the registering authority to register such person as a foreigner on account of delay, may within 30 days from the date of receipt of the order passed by the foreigners tribunal or from the date of publication of this notification make an application for registration. So what rule 19.2 did was, if there was an order of the tribunal detecting a person to be a foreigner.
You are not aware.
Prior to 16 July, but you are not aware, it gave a period of 30 days from the date of this notification to make an application for registration. But this does not cover a situation where a person was not detected to be a foreigner before 16 June 2013 at all. Suppose
Section 6 is
then just see subsection 6 of the rule.
6A.
Section 3
Then 6A.
Detected to be a foreigner.
Then 6A6, yeah. 6A6.
6A3 applies when he's detected to be a foreigner.
Detected, yeah. That's a condition.
That's the condition. There is declared to be a foreigner.
It's an ongoing process.
Difference between detection and declaration. The commissioner will say, I don't think he's
The only effect will be the person who is declared, who is detected as a foreigner, say after 16 July 23.
Yeah.
He will have to apply for registration within the time limit given under Rule 19.2.
That's correct.
The benefit of extended time will be available under 2A only if he is declared before 19
Before 16,
Yes,
19 June 2013.
That seems to be it.
And my lord, detection is different, declaration is by the tribunal.
So basically, we have to now find out from the authorities how many people were detected to be foreigners before 19 June 2013.
And my lord, I would also like to see, my lord, for your lordship's
16 July 2013.
why, my lord, this 13 amendment came, 2013.
Why did it come exactly?
That the object, my lord, or there must be something, my lord, in the file. Why did this come, my lord? Maybe because there were people who were declared by the foreigners tribunal, but they were evading the service of order.
Or was it the idea that, look, 16 July 2013 is now the cutoff.
Yes.
Assam, you've given 15 plus 13, 28 years to implement the Assam Accord. Now no further.
No benefit of 6A. I'll not call for the files today itself. Your lordship's query is very pertinent. We must answer.
Yes, Mr. Dewan.
Yeah, so I just wanted to point out a page. Then I'll go straight to the Constitution and then the statute. I was pointing out table 2.1 at page 2949.
Yes. 2.1.
2.1.
That would be 2947.
Yes, this just may have a few.
The fertility rate.
Population trend in Assam and India, 1901 to 2011. Is that what your lordships have? This is volume 4, which I was on.
Population trend of Assam and India.
Yes. So this is from the Dr. Nandidada Sekia and Dr. William Joe report. And this may have some figures because it has 51, 61, 71, 91, 2001 and 2011 with regard to the Assam population as well as the India population, the decadal variation, and under the heading exponential growth rate of Assam and India, where
actually, if you see the last two columns,
yes,
61 to 71,
yes,
the Assam population grew at the rate of 3.0% and 2.997%.
That's right.
The Indian rate of growth was 1.959 and 2.215%.
Yes.
So during that decade, 1961 to 71, the rate of growth of population as Assam was much higher than the Indian population rate of growth. But then it dips.
Yes,
then it comes to 2.1, then 1.73, 1.576.
So yes, so you'll have noticed there is a gap that in 1981 there is nothing, but of no census 81. So that is 20 years that they've taken.
But now the Assam rate of growth is much lower than the national rate of growth.
yes, it is relatively, you're right. Exponential growth has it is lower than the national rate of growth at this point of time.
Before 61 also, the
Yes.
Assam rate of growth was much higher than the Indian rate of growth.
Yes.
It was 1.8%, whereas the Indian rate of growth was 1.3, 1.2,
Yes, yes.
minus 0.031.
Northeast states, Mother, which your lordships are not taking into account. Assam was much bigger, Mother.
Oh, it was much bigger.
It was divided then, Mother. That's why these figures were.
Right.
So this is I thought this table might just be of some assistance because your lordships had asked a question.
Mr. Advocate General, when did the actual reconstitution of Assam take place?
1971.
71, what happened 71, 72?
Few states were created, Meghalaya went off.
Meghalaya went off.
Then Mizoram, Arunachal also went off. New states were created, reorganization of the states. Between that 2 years period.
71 to.
Yes, and Nagaland was earlier.
When did it happen? Oh, Nagaland was early.
Earlier. 1962 was Nagaland.
First, it broke away from Assam.
Launched.
I mean, in the sense a new state was created.
Yes, sir.
First a UT, I think, and then a state.
Then Arunachal was a union territory, then Mizoram was an union territory, but they were all bifurcated. There were earlier states, districts of Assam. Like Mizoram was Lusai district.
They were districts. So Mizoram was a district of
District
Assam.
of Assam. And
Then what about Arunachal?
Arunachal was Nepal.
Nepal, that's right.
Nepal. So that became an union territory. Now in 85, they became a full-fledged state.
Right.
73, Tripura went off.
Tripura went off.
Identically, now the high courts are also getting.
Right.
Sorry. So may I request you now to just take up the constitution?
Yes. Narayan kept on, handing over these copies of this constitution to us when the Article 370 hearings were taking place. Yesterday, I was dictating something and I found on page 3 Gopal Shankar Narayan, it's actually edited by him. So that explains why he was very keen to.
Therefore, he kept on.
So we are just on the preamble for a moment. So we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens. So I want to just emphasize this notion. Sorry, Justice Sundaresh has a constitution.
What are you reading?
No, I'm just reading the preamble.
Preamble. Very well.
So in the opening phrase, I want to just emphasize to secure to all its citizens. So even before we get into the definition of citizenship, etc., the preamble itself recognizes citizens. Justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and opportunity. Then this next phrase is important. And to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. So here I want to just emphasize the expression and to promote among them all fraternity. So I would respectfully submit that this fraternity which we are speaking of, or which the Constitution speaks of in its preamble, is really among the citizens. It's not some sort of a global notion of fraternity of humankind or mankind. Promote among them all, which is the citizens, fraternity, and then the next part is also very important, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. And this will, of course, take us to that other Sonowal case, etc., which we'll do. But these are so important values in terms of fraternity among citizens and keeping that in the context of unity and integrity of India. Now please take up part 2, section, Article 5. Citizenship at the commencement of the Constitution. At the commencement of this Constitution, every person who has his domicile in the territory of India and A, who was born in the territory of India, or either of whose parent was born in the territory of India, or C, who has been ordinarily resident in the territory of India for not less than 5 years immediately preceding such commencement, shall be a citizen of India. So Article 5 was brought in to effect under Article 394, or rather by Article 394 on 26th of November 1949. So this is at the commencement of this Constitution. The expression at the commencement of this Constitution in Article 5 would relate, according to us, to 26th November 1949. And then it provides that every person who has his domicile in the territory of India, born in the territory of India, either of whose parents in territory of India, who is ordinarily resident, etc., shall be a citizen of India. Now please see section 6, Article 6, I'm sorry. Rights of citizenship of certain persons who have migrated to India from Pakistan. Notwithstanding anything in Article 5, a person who has migrated to the territory of India from the territory now included in Pakistan shall be deemed to be a citizen of India at the commencement of this Constitution if he or either of his parents or any of his grandparents was born in India as defined in the Government of India Act 1935 as originally enacted, and B1, in case where such person has so migrated before the 19th day of July 1948, he has been ordinarily resident in the territory of India since the date of his migration, or in the case where such person has so migrated on or after the 19th day of July 1948, he has been registered as a citizen of India by an officer appointed in that behalf by the government of the Dominion of India on an application made by him, therefore, to such officer before the commencement of this Constitution in the form and manner prescribed by that government, provided that no person shall be so registered unless he has been a resident in the territory of India for at least 6 months immediately preceding the date of his application. So in Article 6 at this point, I want to emphasize that there is a date which is prescribed in terms of persons who have migrated to India, and that date under the constitutional mandate as we read it is 19th July 1948. Then Article 7 is rights of certain migrants to Pakistan. So with your permission, I'm skipping that. Article 8 is rights of citizenship of certain persons of Indian origin residing outside India. Just a second here now. Then please see Article 9. Persons voluntarily acquiring citizenship of a foreign state not to be citizens. No person shall be a citizen of India by virtue of Article 5 or be deemed to be a citizen of India by virtue of Article 6 or Article 8 if he has voluntarily acquired the citizenship of any foreign state. And in this context, you may recall that one of the questions which was also framed in terms of by Justice Nariman was in the context that, look, we don't recognize dual citizenship at all. But over here, without anybody renouncing any citizenship, we're coming over here and conferring citizenship. Article 10, continuance of rights of citizenship. Every person who is or is deemed to be a citizen of India under any of the foregoing provisions of this part shall, subject to the provisions of any law that may be made by Parliament, continue to be such citizen. Article 11, Parliament to regulate the right of citizenship by law. Nothing in the foregoing provisions of this part shall derogate from the power of Parliament to make any provision with respect to the acquisition and termination of citizenship and all other matters relating to citizenship. So sorry.
17 of list 1 gives Parliament the,
Yeah.
that's the subject of power. Entry 17, list 1 of the 7th schedule.
Citizenship, naturalization, and aliens. List 1 of the Union list,
Yes.
correct? And also, apart from that, there is this power in Article
11
as well. Yes. So that's what we, as far as the Citizenship Act main provision is concerned. Now I'll come back to this. May I want to now go into part 3. May I do so tomorrow?
We'll do that tomorrow.
Great.
I think, Mr. Diwan, you have covered now the.
Yes, so I'll just tell you, there are no surprises. So I want to now just go through a few fundamental rights and Article 29, etc. Then I want to show your lordships the provisions as far as political rights in terms of voting rights are concerned under the Constitution. Then I'll take up the Citizenship Act. I'll very briefly explain the statutory provisions, the scheme of the Citizenship Act. We have also in an appendix, I might just indicate, because you will, then I'll of course focus on 6A. I might just indicate that there are several cognate statutes, as your lordships have seen. There's the Passports Act, Foreigners Tribunal, then there are various orders, etc. For that, we have actually prepared, it's an appendix to the written submissions which are already filed. So I'll take your lordships through this, and then we will we'll try and give you a sharp focus. Just one permission that I need. As far as fraternity is concerned, there are 2 or 3 decisions, including some discussion by Dr. Ambedkar, etc. The Lordship permits us, we will just file that additional volume. I have it physically, of course. So it'll just be quicker.
But email it to the.
No, we've done that already. But
you've done that. No, that's okay. Then it'll be with us.
Yeah.
We've already with us. No difficulty. No problem. Just make sure that you give the replaced volume 5B to the other side also by in another 15 minutes at least, so that they can work on it in the evening.
We'll do that.
Mr. Diwan, if you can please come and conclude by 12 tomorrow.
All right.
Then
no, I'll complete by 12.
Right, by 12. Then between 12 and 1, Mr. Chaudhary and Mr. Hansaria.
Well, it's very complex, Manoj. I've seen this.
So what are you doing? Of course, no doubt about it. We'll read your submissions today. We'll read your submissions, but we have to, we have to have some time limit. So by 1 o'clock, we'll conclude this side. We have to. I mean, we don't want this matter to spill over beyond the vacation, because once we are in the matter, we must conclude it, because otherwise we lose the freshness of a matter.
Maybe know whether the last week will be miscellaneous or whether your lordship will continue
I'm
with it.
still collecting data about how many fresh matters there are. My problem is on Monday, we had, I think, 15 or 16 benches. There were 204 adjournment slips on Monday. I'm constantly telling the bar, please don't move these adjournment slips, because we create the benches and then 200 matters, just letters, that take it on another day.
Only one restoring.
So, Ms. Jaising, to answer your question, I'm just looking at how many fresh matters there are. We can, if we don't have enough fresh matters, because with the number of benches we have now, the disposal has been very high. So if we don't have too many fresh benches, we may just continue. But
With this and finish it before the vacation.
If our
we
turn,
by this evening, I'll know what is the.
realistically, if our turn comes day after, then it may perhaps not be possible to conclude within a day, all of us.
Not all of us.
But today is Wednesday. Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
Tuesday. So tomorrow, your turn will come in the afternoon tomorrow. We've given them a deadline of 1 o'clock.
Speaking realistically, Manoj. I am speaking realistically, Manoj.
It all depends. It all depends.
I know you are not very confident of your own abilities, but we are very confident about your abilities. Because you are there
It all
every day
depends
before us.
whether your optimism prevails or their optimism prevails.
1 o'clock, we'll put you in at 1 o'clock tomorrow, or 2 o'clock.
भैया हमें चुप कर यार सोचने दे
Doritos Dinamita, हर बाइट में blast.